Okay, the last option is our editor, and when you go into the editor, it's basically going to let us edit the back end. We talked about this the other day. It's way more common for coders, including us, to use the actual back end, use the cPanel code to do this editing, because sometimes stuff messes up from here. But inside of here, you can edit all of your different style sheets or any of that stuff, and it's actually becoming way more simple to do it with some of the new WordPress updates they have. But basically right here, this first page it brings us to is our style sheet. So our style sheet is going to display anything that's located or any of the styles on any of our pages. Right now, specifically, this, I don't know, it's going to everything, right? It's our main style sheet, right?
Yeah, this is. I think it's the only style sheet loaded on.
Yeah, so we only have one style sheet loaded on here. So if we scroll down through it, we can see that it's setting up the styles for the entire website and everything that's going on. So we can add later on our own custom code in here. It'll have a section for that. We can use that to modify any of the colors, any of the fonts, or anything else we want to modify from the site. And that CSS is linked directly to everything else.
Right.
And not only that, but when you come in here, obviously, you can see on the right-hand side we have all of these different options. And these are all of our PHP files. So it's anything that we're going to edit on the back end is available to us here. But once again, you might not want to edit it here, because if you're editing it here, you're at risk of messing stuff up on the site, and then you'll have to go to the back end to fix it. So obviously, we're going to do most of that work from the back end, but it is all available here to check out. So we can go through and look at stuff like the header.php if we want to see what's going on in our header. That's one that's very common to go into and look at. You can see, like, this is how our header's displaying. We have our functions.php, which is controlling all the different functions on the site, and everything else. It's all located here, but most of the time we'll control most of this stuff from the back end of the site.
Right. One thing to say about this is the style.css, you're pretty safe to go into the editor here, go to your style sheet, which is listed right here, and make changes to CSS without any real risk of breaking anything. When you risk breaking things is when you're in a PHP file and you start changing PHP code, because if that code doesn't render correctly, it'll kick you out of the back end, and the front end will register an error. So that's where you don't want to really change any code on this side of things. You want to do it either locally on your own server, or you want to do it through a control panel or through the file management system you're using, whatever that is. When you look here, this is complex. I mean, there's a ton of pages. There's a 404 template, archives, author bio. You're not going to know all this stuff, and we don't expect you to right now. That's what we're going to help you learn, and we're going to start a lot more simple than this. This is the 2013 theme from WordPress, and it's set up to be a full-out blog. I mean, they have every possible scenario that someone, if a 404 template, which is a good idea to have either way, if somebody goes looking for a page on your site with a broken link, that's what's going to come up. But there are just scenarios for every possible thing that they've developed pages for. We don't have to do that necessarily with a typical customer. If a customer comes to us wanting a 5-page informational website, we really only need a style sheet, we need a main index page, and then we have to have what's called a functions PHP file. But we could put our entire code in one template page that's a PHP page, really. So we're going to start from that, and then we're going to start breaking it down into other things and showing you why you would need to have a header PHP, why you need to have a footer PHP, which we've talked a lot about. Just the ability that the things that those options give you. And don't worry at all if you don't know any PHP, because you don't really have to know PHP to work really efficiently within WordPress. And everything you do need to know, we're going to teach you how to do.
Absolutely.